Our Region 9 friends have to do better than that. They've been on Guam. You represent Guam. You know the custom. Half a day. Much better. And so I can hear Tammy's energy from here. Half a day and welcome to the office of the Governor of Guam. We're delighted to have you here with us on this beautiful Wednesday. It turned out to be a flood advisory morning, but a beautiful Wednesday afternoon here for a very special presentation. This is a Governor's Award presentation for Benigno Ruiz, Federal Coordinating Officer, Federal Emergency Management Agency, and Governor Lulian Guerrero's first FCO. Let's give him a round of applause. In addition to acknowledging our governor, I also wanted to acknowledge Ms. Esther Agagi, Guam Homeland Security Advisor, joining us. Charles Esteves, Administrator of the Office of Civil Defense, Guam Homeland Security. Ms. Tammy Luttrell, Deputy Administrator for FEMA. Thank you so much. All our FEMA family and our Guam Homeland Security family. Let's give you a round of applause. Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge our Chief of Staff, John Giorcalvo, and our Deputy Chief of Staff, Clint Virgil, joining us today. So before we get into the part where Byrne starts crying, I'm going to give the program to Charles Esteves from Civil Defense for his remarks.
Be nice. Half a day, so just to let you know that we tricked Byrne into coming here. He told me to do a closeout brief. And he's and with any brief, Byrne's asking lots of questions to staff. What do we need to brief? What what's pending? Do you have slides? And the thing is, separate invites are sent out. And so Byrne was kind of suspicious when the invite for this brief was only sent to him and a couple of members of the staff versus the full team. So we got you there. Were you tricked?
Surprise! Oh yeah.
Okay, so mission accomplished. Yeah, so just to let you know, Byrne is he's not new. He is the first federal coordinating officer for the governor during Mankut, which we had within the first year he came into office, and most of that was virtual. Byrne eventually moved on to operations at CNMI, but he kept in contact with the office and continued to share lessons learned from his work in helping CNMI recover from their major typhoon event. I can tell you that when people talk about partnerships and relationships, Byrne has been one of those people who he's maintained contact. And someone once asked me, and I've never been an FCO, but they were asking me my experience working with Byrne as the FCO. As an aspiring operations and potentially an inspiring FCO. And I said something I've noticed about Byrne is he's fully acculturated. Okay, I've lived on Guam for I don't know how long, and I don't think I've been to every church. I've been to every church, but I've only gone to church if it was for either a baptism or a funeral, but Byrne's actually gone to every Catholic church here and attended Mass, heard in all different languages. Talk about acculturation. His blood pressure's high. He's had gout. He's probably had to check the
I'm already pre.
Yeah, so pre-diabetic. So he's check marked the block on health. He's eaten at pretty much every restaurant, and he probably knows more about Guam politics and just being here, in the last year than most people, most young adults do, right? And that's because he recognizes that most disasters are political, and while he does not get into the politics of things, he tries to understand the full breadth, in detail of the decisions that the governor has to make and provide advice based off of the context of the current political situation in Guam. And I'll give an example. We're assisting GDOE with this temp shelter project, and he says, "Hey, the superintendent had a meeting with the gov. Did any word from Joanne Camacho regarding to whether or not they got the funding?" I said, "I don't know. I haven't heard back from Joanne. I've been trying to reach her." And then he shows me the article where Joanne resigned that Friday, and I said, "Wow, you are a step ahead of something that I thought would have went viral, public knowledge." And that's because he reads the paper every day and he tries to understand the situation. So anyone here who is an aspiring FCO or just an aspiring emergency manager, acculturation is a big part of ensuring that you can adequately help your jurisdiction respond and recover. So I just want to thank you, Byrne, for your partnership. Don't cry over that. I feel like you're gonna tear. I don't know why, but yeah, hold it in. And we hope to see you back here as you go into retirement. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Charles. I now want to give the floor to the Honorable Lourdes de Leon Guerrero, Magahakan, Guahan.
Thank you so much, Crystal. You know, we actually timed this, Byrne, to make sure that Tammy is here because, you know, I want her to hear all the good things about you. But when I first met Byrne, it was actually through the telephone because somebody said to me, Governor, there's Byrne Ruiz here and he's the head of the FEMA team here. I said, who is Byrne Ruiz? And so they said, here's his phone number, call him, right? And I said, man, I better call the guy because I want to make sure he feels he's welcome and that now that you were at the Hyatt, what was it, Hyatt, going to weather the typhoon and Hyatt. And so we didn't really meet face to face till I think after the typhoon. And I didn't really expect Byrne the way he is. I thought it was, you know, a tall, white guy, although Rios is really not a Caucasian name. But I found him very calming, I think, you know, is the word. I just want to say that FEMA really has a very valuable individual in Byrne. He knows his stuff, stuff very well. And whenever we are in these meetings, he never says, no, we can't do it. He's always saying, we'll find a way. We'll find a way to do it. Even when I asked him for where are those bucket trucks, and he said, well, Governor, I think they are in somewhere in the Midwest, and we're trying to find transport to get it here. Well, Byrne, how soon will it get here? 2 weeks. Byrne, that's not acceptable because 2 weeks is not. We're going to be done by 2 weeks. And he said, well, let me figure out what we can do, right? And of course, I said, that's it. I'm going to call Admiral Aquilino. And, and I did. And the bucket trucks came out the next day from the naval base. So, but you know, it just shows how we both can work together to get the job done. And I just never felt like he was not making us important. I felt really that his full attention and his very authentic desire to help the people of Guam. And of course, he's also been very familiar with the people from CNMI because I understand you're there longer, right, than here. And I always wondered, how could anybody leave their family for so long a period of time? I mean, that's a big sacrifice to make. And even the other FEMA people, you know, that were here right after the typhoon, some of them with so much assimilated into our culture that we gave them family names. The Chamorros are very good at, oh, you're a Leon Guerrero. Well, what family clan are you from? And you say your family clan, everybody now knows it, right? So there's some that we gave family names. But with Byrne, I felt that going through this very challenging disaster was a little bit easy for us because all his expertise and his resources and his direct communications with people from Region 9, people from, you know, DC, have great, I feel, respect because they respond very quickly to burn. So burn is, I feel, the glue of all of the FEMA people here with us. And he's there every Tuesday, every week, and giving us feedback. And a lot of times we're able to carry out and make decisions right there at the table because Byrne was there, authorized to make decisions. All our key leaders in the cabinet were there that are authorized to make decisions. So I think that's why things moved a little bit faster. I think that's why we had quick recovery. You know, if there's issues about debris, DPW there, Byrne is there, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers there. So it's just it was I feel a very well run program with Byrne at the helm. And we're going to miss you, Byrne, but we don't want you to come back here because you have to. We want you to come back here because you want to. And, you know, he introduced his wife to me when my mother passed away, and he came to my mom's mass. That was just so very, to me, very heartening. I felt very, I guess I felt very respected by Byrne. So I just want to say, Tammy, you have a great guy here. And believe me, Bob Fenton knows, because when Bob comes, we tell him, and of course he knows Byrne too. But even, what's his name, Bob Precipane, also very familiar. And of course, our administrator, your administrator is very familiar. So Byrne, just on behalf of the people of Guam, we just want to once again, in addition to many, many thank yous, thank you for all that you've done. And very organized guy. I will keep some of your briefing notes that we do just to remind me of how well things are run, because he's got everything, you know, from the graphs to here's where we are, here's where we've been, here's where we are, here's where we're going to go. And I think that's very calming and comforting to know that there's an organized plan and a strategy. So I just want to thank you for all of that, and thank all your team members that are here still helping us through closing up our recovery. Thank you, Brett.
Thank you so much, Governor. And I'm sure Byrne is going to pray for us at wherever the next church he goes to.
The next village you go
And it's also very appropriate as we're nearing the 1 year since Typhoon Malwar. And so thank you again, Byrne, for all that you've done for us. Asking to make remarks is our Chief of Staff, John Jr. Calvo. Again, we've got to work with you personally.
Yeah, it's very rare that I take the opportunity to participate in any type of remarks at these ceremonies, but this is one where it's a one-out Byrne, and I thought it was very important for me as the governor's authorized representative, and we work hand in hand to recover from this disaster. First off, the HSA comes up to me at about 4 o'clock, and she tells me, Byrne's running a little late. He'll be here by about 4:10, right? Oh, I'm sorry, 4:40, 4:30. It was 4:30 when she comes up, and he's running 10 minutes behind. And I said, he for sure adopted island life if he's running late to a meeting. Much more so making the governor wait. But that, as Charles has mentioned, he's really adopted the culture, the people, and definitely built the relationships with all of us. The one thing that I think Byrne is going to leave behind, and I'm not sure if everybody has kind of grasped it or have begun to realize it. In FEMA, right, we always talk about preparedness, and then when a disaster hits, it's recovery. But after that, it's resiliency, right? And making sure that we're going to be able to survive the next disaster whenever that comes. And Byrne, you have definitely left your legacy by instilling in us something that not all of us are able to just comprehend just yet. But I know in 5, 10, 15 years, we're going to look back and we're going to see all the documents that says Byrne made this a priority for the people of Guam, and that is resiliency. And so we are going to be more prepared, more resilient, but we're definitely going to be a better people because of it. So on behalf of all of us, the cabinet who worked closely with you day in and day out up until this point, and thank you, and we wish you well.
So before I proceed with reading his award, I want to give the floor to Bern for some remarks.
None? All right, well, talk about surprises. Those are very, very kind words. Heard my name mentioned way too many times, and sometimes I find that unnerving, okay? Usually I hear my name when I'm not doing enough, but I do that myself on my own with no help. But no, thank you for those kind words, Governor, Chief. And glad you're here, Tammy. And certainly my battle buddy here, the TCO, that's who I connect with at every disaster I go to. That's my foxhole buddy. And it really helps that you guys, thank you for welcoming me into your home, into your cabinet table that allowed me the freedom to say, hey, we can work on these. These are good things. Let's focus on these. Day in, day out, I think that made a huge difference. And we did a lot of legendary stuff, this entire group here, over the last 11 months. And, you know, I got one rule to me for myself, that it's never about me. And then rule number 2, see rule number 1. And you start there and you get better. And I can still hear my late father, his biggest advice to me was surround yourself with good people, people who are smarter than you, and good things will happen. And it's even better when you're working with an even better team. And I think we have that here. And this joint team is just fabulous. And the folks that you see here are probably second, third order, because we brought a lot of folks to train them, because getting that experience on the islands is very important. That's one of those things you got to come away with, because this is not in the Caribbean, which is you're a lot closer to resources. Those bucket trucks were a huge challenge. The debris mission was a huge challenge. But, you know, we had external affairs that connected everything, you know, with Chuck Ada's division supervisors, with the mayors. We had the community in the know as to when we're going to be in their neighborhoods to go out. All right. We had some rough spots in the beginning, but we got it down to hat. But it's those kinds of things that I think allowed us to do those great things and allow us to really take a look about what we just did here in 11 months. We have a lot to be proud of as a team, and I'm glad to have been a part of it and be a part of your family here on the island. And yeah, I'm an island boy myself. All right, I started out in Manila and then moved over to West Coast, and then I've not broken orbit from Region 9 since 2017, so I'm very familiar with the islands out in the Pacific. But thank you for all that. It was my high honor to serve with you. And as embarrassed as I am about hearing my name so much and all these embellished comments back as to how well we did, I point that back at you, okay? Because you pushed me to rise above the bar I've set for myself every single day. And then we just raised each other's games up, and look where we are, okay? There's still plenty of room to build more resilience, like the chief said. One is to recognize that, and 2 is, I think you're on a good path to build that. And I look at Forrest Chargoff, and I see a lot of promise in that young man. Yeah, and I think you're on a good path. And the next time Region 9 comes out here, you probably don't have to bring so much more, all right? And it's not gonna take 30 days. Outside law was 120 days before the lights came back on, 30 days from Mawar. And Gov, you laid a challenge on that cabinet table. Can we do it better than Florida?
It's within reach.
It is definitely within reach, but thank you for all those kind words. And I'm glad I get to share this with a bigger team of folks that have really welcomed me everywhere else I've been, supporting Bob. And Bob does have the Pacific deep in his heart. All right, and you are very, very fortunate with that, but I don't need to tell you that. You've lived it. But I remember when we first, actually February of 2019, I out-briefed you in Mancun. And you had just been inaugurated less than 30 days before, and man, that was quite an experience, and here we are. And yeah, it was, pack up my saddle and ride off into the sunset.
In your proa.
Yeah, I think you've set me in a very nice way for the next journey. Okay. And it's not going to stop, because when you look at those people out there in the 19 villages, if that doesn't motivate you to do better than what you are, then you're in the wrong business. I think you've great leadership, man. Appreciate your vision.
And Bern, you don't know this, but we are live streaming this event on Governor's YouTube channel because we recognize that your family and your non-work friends are not here with us on Guam. So you can send this to them and share with them. And also we can memorialize the tears that are about to flow from your eyes, because I'm going to say your name many times in the following award. Thank you, Jojo, for preparing it there. I'll be reading the text that appears on this award. Governor's Award, Benigno Ruiz, Federal Coordinating Officer, Federal Emergency Management Agency. Benigno Ruiz has grown to be a friend of Guam, dedicating his tenure here on the island to the swift recovery operations surrounding the devastation of Typhoon Mawar. Through his extensive experience in leadership, coupled with his profound logistics and planning knowledge, he helps serve our community in his capacity and has become a true partner of the island that we will remember forever. Paired with over 30 years actively serving with the U.S. Army, Ruiz holds a BS in Mechanical Engineering from the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, a Master of Science in Industrial Engineering from Texas A&M University, and a Master's in Strategic Studies from the U.S. Army War College. Before joining FEMA, Ruiz fortified his operational and logistic expertise, serving in many leadership capacities. He was the Director of Modeling and Simulation at the U.S. Joint Forces Command Warfighting Center, the commander of the 725th Main Support Battalion, the 25th Infantry Division, Director of Studies and Analysis at HQ Tradoc Future Center, Director of Logistics of the HQ 8th U.S. Army, Director of Operations of the 8th Theater Sustainment Command, Deputy Director for Operations at Directorate, U.S. Forces in Afghanistan, the Chief of Staff of the North U.S. Forces in Afghanistan, and the Program Manager at Tapestry Solutions. As a Federal Coordinating Officer in FEMA, Ruiz has served in over 50 presidentially declared disasters in areas such as the United States, Sinai, American Samoa, and Guam. He has responded to various disasters, including mudslides, wildfires, winter storms, floods, earthquakes, hurricanes within the Atlantic and Pacific regions, volcanic eruptions, tornadoes, and the COVID-19 pandemic. Ruiz served our island, being named the Federal Coordinating Officer during Typhoon Mangkhut in 2018 by former President Donald Trump, and Typhoon Mawar and Tropical Storm Bolaven in 2023 by President Joe Biden. During Typhoon Mawar, Ruiz's strong leadership, fostered by his operational expertise, led to the maximum support efforts from Guam's federal counterparts. Additionally, Ruiz understood the complexities that stem from island-based emergencies and disasters and ensured that federal agencies were vigilant. As Guam provides unique challenges and needs, Ruiz took the initiative to acculturate himself to the people of Guam and the community. During his time on Guam, Benigno Ruiz helped rebuild the community after one of the biggest typhoons our island faced in the past 2 decades. With his immense passion for leadership and profound knowledge of operational recovery and logistics, he took the appropriate steps for a swift recovery while understanding the importance of addressing our island's unique challenges and needs. His dedication and service are honored with distinction, and we extend our enduring gratitude and respect.
In witness thereof, I, Lourdes de Leon Guerrero, Governor of Guam, together with Josh Tenorio, Lieutenant Governor of Guam, we have set our hands and caused the Great Seal of Guam on this 24th day of April in the year of the Lord, Anno Domini 2024. Bern, on behalf of the people of Guam, it is a great honor to bestow upon you the Magahaga Award with deep appreciation and amazing opportunities and experiences that we have learned from you. And in the reading of all the many, many accomplishments and all the various leadership roles that you have played, we have certainly been blessed having you here to guide us along and to help us along with the recovery of our 2 typhoons. And certainly, again, we express our greatest appreciation to the FEMA administration for sending you our way. And we hope to continue our friendship. We hope to remember this as a lasting good memories of all the processes and all of the events and actions that we went through to raise again the quality of life of our people and return us to some normalcy. So on behalf of the people of Guam, thank you, Sidzus Maasi, and forever you will be our friend.
Oh, there we go. Forgot about that. One more.
Tammy and the FEMA leadership to join us, as well as maybe Esther and Charles.
Just simple for a photo. Look, we want you to hold it. That's your word. For those of you tuning in on YouTube, this is a special presentation to a FEMA coordinating officer, Benigno Ruiz, who served the people of Guam, especially during Typhoon Mawar.